Welcome everyone to the Power in Your Voice podcast. I am your host, Linda, where we'll be talking about life experience and how it's meant to keep you moving. Often we get up and we mask our hurt and our pain. Yes, that's what I said, life experience. We all have them. So we're going to learn here to deal with our issues and achieve goals because every power has a story. All right, welcome back, everybody. It is our season 2, and I am just so happy that we're all back in a place, you all. I don't know what's been happening in your life while we've been off of the podcast, but so many things, so many great things have been happening in my life. I'm so grateful. While we were out, I got to become Dr. Linda. So I'm excited about that. So many great things are happening. Y'all, today we're talking about setting expectation. And I have some amazing grandchildren of mine that is on this podcast with me in this season. Jalen, why don't you go ahead and say hi to my podcast?
Hey, y'all, I'm back.
Woo-woo, that is Jalen. Y'all, I am so honored to have Davion and my granddaughter, Jada. Come on, say hello to the podcast.
What's up, y'all? What's up?
Oh, you heard them. They was like a little dry. Don't worry about them, y'all. Don't worry about that little dry run. They gonna get it. They gonna get it up. Yes, but I'm gonna tell you, we are in this new season, and Jalen and I and all of the rest of the team, we are so excited about setting these new expectations. Jalen, when we're talking about setting expectation, come on, fresh mind, tell me what we got.
So in our initial discussion, my first thing was, well, what is an expectation? So you know me, I'm a dictionary, so I go straight to the dictionary to figure it out. So the definition of expectation is a strong belief that something will happen or be the case in the future.
Wow, something that will be in our future. Is that what you're saying, Jayla?
That's what it says. So it means that I'm expecting that whatever I'm hoping for, praying for, believing for, I'm expecting for it to happen in my future. And I'm strongly believing that it's going to happen.
I like that word. I am strongly believing. Y'all, I have some new couples on here. They are not newlyweds, but they just set and celebrated 1 year of marriage. Come on, tell me, what was your expectation when you first got into this relationship of marriage, being in one accord? Talk about this, setting those expectations. What was it like?
I know that, before we had hit our first year anniversary, and even before we had got married and we was dating, getting ready to marry, man, it was like everything was, it was so full and like laughing and everything like that. And, my expectations was, that stuff would come, but there was stuff that came that I might not have necessarily been prepared for. I couldn't foresee, when we were just in our dating stages. But one thing that my expectation is, not just was, but is that, it'll be till death do us part. So,
like
regardless of all that.
That was a goal set right there.
Yeah. So, just no matter what comes, my expectation, is that it's going to be until death do us part.
I like that, Davion. Let me hear it from Jada. That's your sweet thing right there. Let me hear it from Jada. Davion said, until death do us part. Let me hear what you got to say, Jada.
Okay, y'all. So we had this issue in the very beginning because Davion was like, if there's cloud 10, Davion was on cloud 50. And me, see, Davion comes from a great marriage. His parents have a great marriage, but I came from a broken household. And so my expectations were great because, of course, I was marrying my best friend. The Lord had spoken to us and I was so excited. But there was also that fear of what I had already saw, what I grew up around. And so
wow,
I kind of expected there to be things that weren't actually there. And so he didn't expect there to be things that he couldn't handle. And I expected there to be things that I couldn't handle as well.
That's what people do not understand. I come from this set of a family where my family was broken, and then this one come from this set of family where their family seems to be whole. And when the problems came, y'all, there was the balance. He had expectation of this. You had expectation of that. And what happened was what you thought that wouldn't happen, Jada, you already knew could happen. Oh, that's good right there, y'all. That's a balance in all of us. I'm gonna tell you, Davion and Jada just let us know that there are things just what arise. There are things that will occur in your life. So you got to know how to hold on and be strong in what you believe in. Y'all, Jalen is getting ready to be married. Jalen, tell me some of the things that you are expecting.
So my expectation coming up on getting married is I would like to piggyback off Davion and say till death do us part. I have expectations that our marriage is gonna be successful and we're gonna succeed. So whatever does come our way, we're gonna be able to tackle these things together and fight through it and push through it. But I would definitely say, in thinking about like expectation versus faith, like you have to still be realistic when you're setting these goals and setting these expectations, because faith is saying that I believe God can do it, and I absolutely do. But in these setting these expectations, I can't say, well, I don't expect us to argue at all when we get married, because that's not realistic. Like, first of all, it's two separate people trying to come together and make things work. So it's you have to be realistic in setting these expectations, but at the same time, still have faith that God's going to be able to do exactly what he said he was going to do. So my expectation is that our marriage is going to be successful, but faith says that things are going to come, but God is going to pull us through.
I love it, Jalen, because let me tell you, you didn't hide behind stupidness.
Yeah.
That's the word I would like to use. Being stupid, because so many times people walk without wisdom. And you saying, you know what? I understand that I have a relationship with God, and even having a relationship with God, I know that things will happen. And in the midst of things happening, guess what? I still have set expectation. Even when things don't go the way that I think that they should go. I just feel like you and Davion and Jada have said, I have set a goal. I have set expectation. What is that expectation? That I will be here until death do us part. No matter what, we understand our storms. We understand situations will occur. We understand that unbalance will be in our marriage. We understand that we won't always think alike. But one thing that we have set, oh, that's a good one right there. Yeah. I will be here until death do us apart. Now, watch this. Now, we're not talking about stupid stuff and setting expectation, because I'm not going to be with somebody knocking me upside my head. Right. I'm not going to be with someone that's not loving me according to the way that I know. Now, I'm not talking about, I think I ought to be loved like this. No, because we think all kinds of ways. We flow all types of ways. But one thing I do know, Jayla, is when I know what real love is, then I know that the partner that God have given me, I can set these goals with them and say, until death do us apart. Right. So my next question is, Jada and Davion, how did y'all begin to set things so you can come together and have an understanding?
Y'all, we had to talk.
We had
to communicate.
Yes, that's exactly what that means. They had to have communication.
Yes. Yeah.
Communicate. Now, Jada, what happens when you don't have communication?
Attitudes, misunderstanding, resentment.
Wow.
Just
wow.
Can I add to that?
Now, yes, come on, Jayla.
I would say too, when you don't have communication, to bounce back off the subject of expectations, when you lack communication, that's oftentimes where you have unexpressed expectations. So that means that you're expecting this person to know what you're expecting for them to do. But when you don't communicate that, now you have unexpressed expectations. And so you're holding something against them that you never even told them.
Right.
So you have to communicate your expectations.
Wow. So then, therefore, you can't set anything because there is no communication. There is no understanding. There is saying, sometimes people think that you all know what they're thinking. You all know how they're feeling. That's not so. Everybody like, oh, you're my soulmate. I can feel when they feel. I know when they want to eat. That's not so. You don't know when they are hungry. If you go to the store and you decide to buy your fiance or your wife or your husband something, and you have not talked to them about what they like, you can mess around and buy the wrong thing and be disappointed.
That is very true.
Trying to do what's good. You can't do it. So what would you say about that, Davion?
Yeah, I'm a piggyback off of what my wife said, because honestly, when something would come up and it would go a certain way, and when we're able to communicate about it, we would communicate and be like, man, we can't let it happen like that again. So we gotta handle it this way. And then the next time it comes, how are we gonna handle it? Because we already set an expectation that this is how we would handle if this happened again, like if it was a disagreement, and our tone of voice, just all that kind of stuff, so that it could go smoother in that next time. So definitely communication is a far one, and being consistent too, because like sometimes if it didn't go that way, that don't mean that we give up, and the next time it come, we got to try and succeed in that way. So yeah, being consistent too, and persistent. So
well, I want to thank you again, y'all. This is my time. Y'all, these conversations can go on. And my prayer is always that what we talk about, it is here to help you. There is power in your voice. So if you learn how to communicate, I want you to know you can set those goals of expectation. I thank you for coming back and being with me. I pray that this is going to be another great journey together. Y'all, until next week, God bless. Peace out. I would like to thank you for tuning in to this podcast today. Remember, if your situation is not challenged, it cannot change. If this conversation has been a blessing to you, hit me up on my social media in the link below. I would love to hear from you. Also, take a second to share this podcast with your family, your friends, your neighbors, your associates. Everybody is welcome to the Power in Your Voice family.